whip and I'm out. I need so much I can't count. Oh, and I don't need no college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts. Ayy, hop in a whip and I'm out. I need so much I can't count. Oh, and I don't need no college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts.
Alright, look, I'm making stupid amounts. The shit is annoying to count. I hired a dude just to count. And he don't make no mistakes. Yeah, I live my life, had a suitcase. Yeah, smoking on a bouquet. I get no fucks with you.
Welcome to Geno's East. I'm the general manager, Jonathan Sanchez. Let me show you around. So this is the original location. We've been here since 1966. It actually got started by two taxi drivers. They found a woman by the name of Alice Mae Redmond. She was working at a different location and she developed a pizza recipe that she really liked and really enjoyed. And the taxi drivers really enjoyed it as well too. So they actually took that, and that's the recipe that we still use to this day. So it's because of Alice Mae Redmond that we actually have Geno's East. Used to be really dark and downstairs. So a lot of people, when they come here that haven't been here for a long time, they look for the basement. That's the first thing they ask for. We no longer have that, but now we built up and it's a lot larger building. So for those guests that were here around when we first opened in 1966, the first thing that they say when they come in is, where's the basement? But this room right here kind of gives that same feeling, and when people walk up to this room, they're like, oh, this is kind of more like the feeling of what I had with the old restaurant when it was downstairs in the basement. And one of the classics that we're known for is the patty sausage. So what the patty sausage is imagine a patty of sausage that covers the entire top of your pizza. Now, a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, wait, right off the bat. But just imagine, you know, some of the great Chicago sausage with every single bite of pizza that you get. It's actually a phenomenal pizza. A lot of people know us for, they call it the cornmeal crust, but there's actually no cornmeal in the crust. There's a special conditioner that we use when we make our deep dish dough, and that's what gives that flavoring and the golden hue to the dough. If you look at everybody else's dough, it's very white, no flavor. Ours has flavor and texture to it. That's a huge difference because that's about 50% of the flavor profile that you're trying, and if it has no flavor to it, it's not adding anything to the pizza. So that's where we're different. In fact, just a little fun tip for you, I have a guest who actually comes in and just buys the crust from us, and he eats it just like that with his coffee because he loves the taste of it and the texture of it. So that right there, it's a thing on its own. Besides the deep dish pizza that you can get here that everybody's obviously known and world famous for, we also have our tavern thin crust pizza. We make our own mozzarella sticks in-house, and then we also carry Bona beef. So you can not only try the famous deep dish pizza, but also try the Italian beef. One of the things that really attracted me to the restaurant is its casual atmosphere. I mean, beer and pizza is already as casual as you can get, but then you add writing on the walls, and that just invites everybody to kind of come in and just have fun and be themselves. And that's one of the great things about the restaurant. People come back many years afterwards and they try to look of where their name is on the wall. So we try not to paint as many walls as we can as possible. When you go out of town, you want to try the beers from the area, and so we have beers that we make specifically for us that are made by Great Central Brewing, which is here in Chicago, and so that's another great reason for, you know, to come over here. And what's better than beer and pizza? We've added another big Chicago staple here to the Geno's East at downtown Chicago, which is Rainbow Cone that you see right behind me. As I said before, it's a concept that actually started in the south side of Chicago, and we also opened up a Gotham Bagels, which is also a new concept for us. We have the comedy bar up on the third floor. It's got state-of-the-art equipment. I can guarantee you that there will be no other comedy bar that will provide the experience that we can provide for you here at Geno's East, and that's located here within the building.
Kids just wanna be rival. Careful not to get too close, I might just go.
Panthers fans are also welcome here. Everybody is welcome here. You know, one of the biggest things about Chicago is that we like to welcome everybody here. We want to have people come to Geno's East more for some of those sporting events. We're going to be putting some more TVs in for that reason. So yeah, everybody is welcome here, except for the Packers fans.
So Jonathan, you've told me the story. Amazing place. Now it's time for the taste test to see if this is Geno's East. Is this the authentic, best deep dish pizza place in Chicago? So we'll, I think here it comes.
Oh yeah, here it comes. We got our, and as you can see, George is getting a nice little cheese pull right there.
Wow, look at that. Now that's
the money
says it all.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Panthers fans, if you're hungry before the game, after the game, make sure you stop by Geno's East. You will not regret it.
All right, now that is the way to start off the show. You just saw the best that Chicago has to offer. That is Geno's East. As you saw, the pizza was delicious. We will probably be going back there again later tonight and definitely in the morning too. But great time there. Love that place. If you're a Panthers fan visiting, you should make sure to stop by Geno's East on Superior. And the other good news is the other good way to start this game night is Marquise Haynes will be active tonight.
It's more of a mental thing for me, just getting through, especially since training camp when I first went down and stuff. It's been a real long road and stuff, and it's real mental. It's really mental, especially for someone like me. I really love football. I really love playing with my teammates and stuff, being out on the field with them and stuff, and having fun with them and stuff. So watching them go through the battles they go through every week, it's really I have to keep myself on the sideline and stuff and not rush. Man, take me off IR. I'm ready to come back and this. I don't care no more. I really got to just take my time to just keep level-headed and stuff.
Just 4 days ago, the Carolina Panthers watched the momentum from their win over the Texans evaporate in a 27-13 loss to the Colts. The game was riddled by Bryce Young's 3 interceptions and a slew of penalties. The team has worked vigorously during this shortened week to correct the mistakes and get off to what head coach Frank Reich referred to as a much-needed fast start in the first quarter.
I was actually just talking about that with one of our players, just talking, our practices have been so good. Listen, we know what a good practice week looks like, and the last couple have been, they've been progressively getting better, and the last couple have been really, really good. And we need to carry that more consistently over to the game, and that starts with how we start the game off. And that's what we were just talking with one of the guys, that we need to start one of these games off hot, jump out to it, like we did against Miami. We just, we need that. We need that on a more consistent basis. So I believe that's coming. I believe that, because of how good practices have been, we'll carry that execution. And, this week, we started the game, we had 3 crucial penalties that killed us, in the first quarter. I was sitting there, and it's what I wrote down. After the first quarter, 3 crucial penalties in that first quarter that held us back from getting a fast start. So we got to clean those things up.
The last time these two teams met was in 2020 at Bank of America Stadium, where the Bears defeated the Panthers 23-16. And in Chicago, the Bears have not won in this matchup. So tonight, this Panthers team that leads the league in false start penalties with 17 in the league will have to eliminate those mistakes if they want to find success. They'll also have to neutralize a couple of familiar Bears weapons. Bears receiver DJ Moore and running back Deontay Foreman were both wearing black and blue a season ago, but will now be the two biggest takeaways for the Panthers defense today. So once again, hello everybody and welcome to the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN. We're here at cool and slightly breezy Soldier Field here in Chicago, where the Panthers will be taking on the Bears tonight. 1-7 versus 2-7. So a battle at the bottom of their divisions, but don't think that doesn't mean there'll be a lot of action tonight. Lots in store for you. But before we dig into the football tonight, Ellie and Chase, two patients at the Levine Children's Hospital, recently were presented with a free all-expenses trip paid to come to this game tonight to see their Carolina Panthers take on the Bears. The partnership will allow the kids to come onto the field and a whole lot of other surprises. They were surprised with this trip just a few weeks ago at the Levine Children's Hospital. They were extremely excited, so we hope that they're enjoying their trip tonight. Now, the Panthers have been a little bit busy lately trying to secure some new personnel. The latest is linebacker Blake Martinez. You may have heard of Martinez in a recent Pokemon scandal, but he said that that's all on hiatus. He's moving past that, and he's really ready and excited to be back here, back in football.
No, I definitely missed it. Like, obviously, once the season started, seeing all this stuff during training camp, there was still that itch every week that I watched other guys play. I was like, oh, I can still do that. So it's awesome to be here and have this opportunity.
Now, some say that Ejiro Evero, his system is more of a plug and play, but he says that it's not quite that. But the one thing he did assure us of this week is that he definitely feels that he has the personnel to get the job done tonight. But the Panthers have currently 10 defensive players now on IR, and they can only bring back 8 all season. So they'll have to move some pieces and parts to try to figure out which guys they need the most. That's going to be a situation for the Panthers. But thankfully, as we mentioned before, Marquise Haynes is back and will be playing tonight. They'll definitely need him. So for tonight's game, big matchup on the field. Dante Jackson versus more than likely DJ Moore all night. This can be a contentious matchup because they both know each other. They play together. They've gone up against each other in practice in Charlotte. So that'll be exciting to watch that matchup tonight. And then C.J. Henderson is ruled out with a concussion along with Brian Burns. So those are two defenders that Carolina will not have tonight. And then Justin Houston, as you know, is already on IR. So a really damaged Panthers defense is going to make it tricky for them. But they'll have to do the defense by committee. But Ejiro is confident that they can get that done tonight. And back to Marquise Haynes. We talked about him earlier. They're really excited. Big job for him is getting after whoever's going to be over center tonight for the Bears, whether it's Justin Fields or whether it is Tyson Bagent. And additionally, the Panthers will need a big game out of Frankie Louvu. He's been playing lights out lately. He had 23 tackles in the past 2 games, 62 tackles overall this season, and 3.5 sacks so far. But then there's the run defense. Now, the Panthers have not mounted a good run defense, but both teams are in pretty similar situations when it comes to the run defense. So hopefully this will be the night that the Panthers can get up to speed and make some headway in the running game. So now let's switch over to the Panthers offense. The biggest issue for the Panthers offense has been the run game to jumpstart the rest of the offense. The run game has been slow to develop this year, despite the combination of running backs they've tried to use. So Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders, you'll need some pretty big games out of them tonight in order to try to get past the Bears. But one of the weapons that they will definitely be able to take advantage of tonight is the tight end room. But with more on the tight ends and how this offense can break it open tonight, let's go to Charles Arbuckle.
All right, so when you look at the Panthers, who I got to see up close and personal last week in the booth calling a national radio broadcast, they have to start fast. That was the one thing that I mentioned in the pregame show, but I also mentioned on air. They have to be able to get after it quickly and make sure they start on offense. They haven't been able to score. In the games that they played, they've only had 2 first quarter touchdowns, and that's because of the ineptitude of what they've been doing with the offense. Now, I really like Bryce. I think he's a really smart young man, but I think the key is, how do you have your weapons and how do you have your offensive line protected? They have to get started fast so it gives everybody confidence, because what happens is they're all waiting for the other shoe to drop. And when you have a couple of interceptions for touchdowns, that doesn't bode well. So I think the real key this week against the Bears, in a game where you're playing on a short week, simplify the offense, let him get away from so much process, and let him just go play. Because in the second half, before that pick 6, I thought he was playing some really good football. But the key is now to finish that up. Start fast, finish the game strong, and give yourself a chance to beat a Bears team that's not very good offensively. And they're struggling from where they are as well. Panthers have to find a win, because after that, it gets a lot more difficult. The Dallas Cowboys after that, and many more tough games. But I think the one game you have to circle on your schedule, probably like the Colts did against the Panthers, is this Bears game on Thursday night. It's really, really critical. The other key factor with Bryce Young is when you're a young player and you really get some confidence, it's usually through your tight end crew. And I'm not just saying that because I played the position, but it's always one of those things. You have a big body that makes plays. The tight end crew is really essential, and they started to make plays the other day in the game. Hayden Hurst with a nice catch. Tommy Tremble. Stephon Sullivan, who I think was being utilized as a wide receiver, made some nice plays as well. The biggest thing you need with a big body guy is that he's coming back and the target is a lot bigger. And most quarterbacks get comfort and they feel better with that. That's what's going to happen with this crew. Get as many targets as you can to those 3 guys, but in particular, Tommy Tremble and Hayden Hurst, who I don't think have been utilized enough, and they need to come out of the witness protection program. But that's just me, and that's my thin energy thoughts for today.
Now, you can't drive to a Carolina Panthers win without your keys to the game. So the first important key for them is a fast start. As we said before, Frank Wright is very adamant about getting out to a fast start tonight. That is one of the high-level things on their list for this week. Key number 2 is eliminate the turnovers and the false starts. That's been a big issue. They are one of the most penalized teams in the league this season with false starts and other penalties, so they have to get a wrap on that tonight if they're going to make any progress on that side. And then it's a pick your poison with DJ Moore and Deontay Foreman for sure. So they'll have to neutralize at least one of those weapons if they want to be able to maintain or contain this Bears offense and make plays on special teams. That's a 4th key that they'll need tonight. But a lot of keys, but the Panthers have had a great week of practice, getting Marquise Haynes back. So a lot of big upside for them tonight. So hopefully the Carolina Panthers can put all of the pieces together tonight and get the win. Don't want to come up into this cold and go home with a loss. Well, that'll do it for the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN1.com and 7:30 The Game. I'm Kevin Tolbert from starting to get frigid or at least chilly Soldier Field in Chicago.